all signs point to this regarding a Connor McDavid contract extension update. How much is it going to get? How long is it going to be for? Well, we don't know that for sure, but we do have a timeline update as well. Hope everybody's enjoying it their Sunday afternoon. Lots of baseball on, lots of golf on, lots of sports on, but we're still waiting for the return of hockey there. And if you're enjoying these videos so far during this summer, make sure you subscribe here to the channel. We are very, very close to 4,000 subscribers, and 76% of you have not yet hit that button down below. So if you haven't already, folks, make sure you hit it and join the team here at Oilers Digest. Now, for the Oilers, I mean, it is no secret whatsoever. The cap space, the cap situation, not the best, but I mean, there are bigger things to worry about, including the Connor McDavid extension talks. I mean, nothing set in stone so far, but we have a bit of an update. The reality is, I mean, Connor McDavid, no matter, how much he asks for, no matter how much he's going to ask for how long, you give it to him, and the reality is Connor McDavid is going to sign the kind of contract that he wants to sign. The Oilers will give it to him. There will be little negotiation, and the idea of the Oilers pushing for a longer-term extension now is essentially pointless, but there will be no pushing here. But when it comes to Frank Seravalli, in an update that he gave, said people in Edmonton, Alberta are nervous. Should they be? I don't think so. It's been a very busy social summer for Connor McDavid, as everyone saw on social media. Overseas in Europe at best friend Leon Draisaitl's wedding. I mean, they even had dual honeymoons. You don't see that too often. I mean, that's how connected they are off and on the ice. Should people be nervous? Well, my understanding is that numbers haven't even been exchanged yet with Judd Moldover, Connor McDavid's agent, and the Oilers management squad. They're still very early on in the process, and yet there doesn't seem to be any hint of nerves or panic or fear from either the Oilers side, as best as I can tell, and also the McDavid side as well. And when it comes to, when he will sign this extension, I expect in relatively short order here, whether it's in the next week or two, that process will begin to ramp up. And that essentially the way it's been explained to me is the minute that Connor McDavid picks his head up off the pillow and decides that he would like to have a contract extension done, that's the day it will happen there too. And the Oilers will have to be very mindful after when the extension is done and their cap situation. The highest paid player set for this upcoming season is McDavid's right-hand man, Leon Draisaitl, who will make $14 million with his contract extension kicking in. If McDavid were to become the highest paid player by the same $1.5 million margin as previous, that would put him at $15.5 million on an annual basis, a dollar amount well below the 20% maximum, which would just be over $19 million there. But from John Shannon, and an NHL insider says he might be signing for less there. I think it's going to be a 3 or 4 year deal. I mean, that's the most we've known so far regarding a potential extension there. The dollar amount has varied, but the term has been, around the 3 to 4 or even 5 year range there. Connor is entitled to 20% of the salary cap, but I also think Connor's smart enough to know if he gets too much, that's less to acquire free agents and other players for this hockey club there. I mean, that's pretty much the situation that Toronto ran into for a number of years. Marner, Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, Riley. So the Oilers trying to avoid that snag in the situation. That's what other superstars do that want to win the Stanley Cup. They sacrifice. I mean, Sidney Crosby with that Penguins dynasty there took a lot less than he deserved. I mean, he should have been one of the highest paid players in the NHL, not just for his time, but in history there too. I think Connor's going to come in a lot lower than what a lot of people are expecting short term, and it will give Stan Bowman to go out and spend money on other players at this appropriate time there. Now for Connor McDavid, again, taking less so the Oilers can spend more. I mean, that's pretty much the natural way to go about it here. I mean, you heard him after the 2 Stanley Cup losses there, saying how badly he wants to win there, and if he has to sacrifice the dollar amount to do that, that is what he may very well have to do there. You can see the Oilers with their current cap situation. I mean, Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard, and Nurse there. Leon Draisaitl's extension kicking in this year there, which will bring him to 38 years of age by the time that one ends up running out. So looks like he'll be an Oiler for life. Hopefully same with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and McDavid, his contract ends this season there, and then a short-term deal would bring him to the ages of 33, 34 there, and then that's a huge question mark for the Oilers when they come to that point there. And then Bouchard signing his 4-year deal, which starts this season at $10.5 million, and then the Albatross, Darnell Nurse with the $9.25, which still has a number of years left on it there too. And, you know, when it comes to the highest paid players in the NHL, Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid will most likely be the two highest paid players starting the 2026-27 year, alongside, you know, Matthews, McKinnon, Mitch Marner. I mean, we still have to wait to see what a guy like Jack Eichel or Kirill Kaprizov will sign for starting next year there too. They're also free agents. I mean, the 2026 free agent class is just absolutely stacked there. But still, the Oilers have to be very, very careful there with how they maneuver and, you know, build a team. I mean, Connor McDavid said, you know, give me the right supporting cast, and that will give me a reason to stay there. Not just, you know, on the forward side, but also the defensive side. I mean, huge. He's a huge fan of Evan Bouchard, and he's best friends with Darnell Nurse there, so you're not seeing Darnell Nurse go anywhere. And then on the back end there too, I mean, whether it's Stuart Skinner or somebody else that is starting for the Oilers in 2026-27 there, the Oilers also have to be very, very mindful. Sure, the cap's going up, but also player salaries are as well there too. I mean, it sort of evens out over the history of the salary cap. The more the salary cap went up, the more player salary did too. I mean, it's very, very natural there. But hey, at least, you know, the Oilers aren't a team like the Dallas Stars, where they're, you know, handing out a lot of money here. Sure, it's long term, but, you know, that will cause problems for the Dallas Stars later on down the road there. $12 million to Mikko Rantanen. I mean, that's a steal as it is for a guy like Mikko Rantanen, even though the Oilers pretty much, you know, made him a ghost in that playoff series there. And then Tyler Seguin has 2 years left up on his deal. I mean, he's on the wrong side of 30, but still a good veteran presence there for the Dallas Stars. But again, the Oilers don't want to run into this situation there. I'm not going to go through all these salaries here, but they don't want to run into the, you know, the types of problems that the Dallas Stars are probably going to run into there, where they have a lot of good players and they eventually have to sign them all and try to figure that one out there too. But also, you know, the last question remains, you know, Connor McDavid. When is the most likely that he's going to sign this contract extension there? You know, Frank Saravalli and John Shannon said, you know, it could be any time from now until the start of the season there, but there's a good chance that it will be after the national team's orientation camp for Hockey Canada there. I'm sure Connor McDavid has that looming on his mind as he heads to Calgary there from August 26th to 28th there for the Hockey Canada orientation camp. So most likely will be after that. I've seen various reports saying that, you know, if there's any time for Connor McDavid to sign that contract extension, it will be before the captain's gates and training camp there, as we all saw Leon Draisaitl sign that on September 3rd. I do believe it was last year there too. But, you know, a lot of panic, a lot of tension, I should say, a lot of nervousness in oil country there too. But Connor McDavid, you know, not trying to rush into it, trying to enjoy the summer to the best of his ability there too. And, you know, I'm seeing, you know, a lot of other fan bases, you know, Toronto, Montreal, New York, LA to an extent, think they could probably get Connor McDavid if he hits free agency, but no, it's just a pretty much of when, not if, and that's always a good sign in oil country as well. There too, lots of you know, nervousness. Sure, I mean, the potential of losing a star player with Connor McDavid, I mean, it's looming in a lot of our minds there. You know, a lot of older Oiler fans with Gretzky there trying to remain, you know, calm about that too. So I can see where the nervousness comes from. But, you know, 97 wants to win in an Oiler uniform there. And, you know, sure, the money's one thing, but winning is another. And that's it for this video, folks. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, folks. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And, again, just take care. Have a great rest of the day. I'm Matt.